am Monquinette Crosby here on location in Glen Arden, Maryland. In a little while, we're going to head into this community center and check out the latest in line dance moves.
We'll show you some fun steps during the show and chat with folks who just love to do it.
So get out your dancing shoes, but first, welcome to Artico, art in your community.
We have a jam-packed show for you today, so let's get started. Cage-Free Voices is an entertainment company that helps young people find their voices and define their identity. The company was started by Bathsheba Smithen. She knows firsthand how it feels to be disenfranchised. She personally experienced homelessness and was abandoned by her parents as a teen. Cage-Free Voices uses spoken word, radio podcasts, and other events to deliver its message. Its guiding principles are reflect, connect, transcend.
Gracefully kissed by hues of orange and yellow sun, I thought my world was over, but then autumn began.
Cage-Free Voices is an educational entertainment company for youth and young adults who struggle with self-image and identity, and we do that by way of constructing powerful learning experiences. I ended up going into the school system to find out about more of what our students are dealing with concerning their health, and ended up in the classroom.
How many people in here?
What I discovered was that a lot of our students are struggling on multiple levels, not just with their academic skills, but socially and emotionally as well. And so from that point on, I decided to move in the direction of creating something that would give them a platform to be heard. I actually created Cage-Free Voices out of a need of my own as well, because I actually had an issue with identity. I was in somewhat of an identity crisis because of my upbringing. I grew up in a very impoverished environment, as well as I did not have a consistent father in my life. And so I completely identify with a lot of the disadvantaged populations. We have two divisions. That's the educational division, and then we have the entertainment division. And as you can see here at this event, part of the entertainment division, we have Cage-Free Voices Radio, where we give youth and young adults an opportunity to see themselves, even if the world is blind, by them talking about economic, political, social issues through their art. I'm also a performer myself, so that's the education and the entertainment that collided together to birth Cage-Free Voices. We give artists a platform for the radio with Cage-Free Voices Radio, which is an innovative educational entertainment radio show. They talk about a number of different topics, but they also have to do a direct address to the audience with their art. So that can be hip hop, that could be poetry, it could be some type of instrumentation, it could be them actually coming on and showing some type of film, because the radio show is set up like a podcast. We just opened up Cage-Free Voices Theater, and so our hope is to move in the direction of opening up theater for our students who are interested in drama. Today's event is called The Reveal of Girl Noticed, and collectively a number of organizations have come together, including Cage-Free Voices. Lori Pratico is the founder of Girl Notice. She's going across the country noticing girls and women by creating these murals.
We're coming out noticing 3 of young women on the wall, drawing them in charcoal. All of them were chosen because they are unique in their own way. They are not typically people that are in the spotlight, and we felt they should be noticed just for being who they are. The murals are done in charcoal, and they're done in charcoal to send, it gives a sense of urgency to see the mural while it's there, because it will fade off the wall. Weather conditions will make it fade, the rain will make it run a little bit off the wall. And the whole point being is if you don't notice what a girl what makes her feel good about herself, if you don't notice what's valuable. Let's look at ourselves and see what's unique about ourselves, what's important about ourselves, and highlight it. But we have to notice or it goes away.
People can find out about Cage Free Voices by going to cagefreevoices.com. They'll find out more about our workshops, performances, Cage Free Voices Radio, or they can follow us on social media at Cage Free Voices on both Facebook and Instagram.
So what do the royal family and a group of young harpists have in common? Well, we're about to tell you.
The American Youth Harp Ensemble is based in Richmond. It's the brainchild of Lynn Ediger. It's part of the recently rebranded Green Spring International Academy of Music. The ensemble has charmed crowds for nearly 2 decades, and they've expanded their training locations to include Frederick, Maryland. For their latest tour, they partnered with some special guests. Clara Jones is the former royal harpist for Prince Charles. In that role, she played often for the Queen and her family. Her husband and duet partner, Chris Marshall, is a renowned composer and percussionist. Students from Clara Jones Harp School in England are performing and touring with the American Youth Harp Ensemble. We caught up with the group during their DC concert.
Richmond Public Schools has the oldest publicly funded harp program in the United States, and it is an inner city school system, and it was filled with students that wanted to learn how to play the harp. When I went and joined the program, I fell in love with these kids that I was working with, and I found out that teaching was my love and my passion, and we worked very, very hard together, and so these students went on incredible journeys because of the instrument. They had the opportunity to travel around the world, but most importantly, they had the opportunity to perform in Carnegie Hall. We had 37 students that performed in that first concert, and we've kept track of all of them, and about 90% have gone on to do not just bachelor's, master's, but many have done their doctorates and are doing extraordinary things with their life and with their careers. I ended up leaving Richmond Public Schools at the end of the Carnegie Hall experience. I wanted to open it up so that we could reach an even greater number of students that could use the harp as an opportunity to change their life trajectory. I started a nonprofit that could then serve even more students, not just from Richmond, but from the surrounding areas as well. Many of our students are at the poverty level. We work in the very, very poorest areas of Richmond, and many of our students go on and they're the first in their families to go to college, and they have incredibly inspiring life stories. One of the things that we still do that started from the very beginning is we have a huge outreach component. So my philosophy is that we teach students how to be great musicians, but we also want to teach them how to be great human beings.
I've been playing the harp for about 6 years and have been with the ensemble for 4 years. I plucked one string on the harp and I just knew that that was what I wanted to play. It sounded so good. It's very rare that you find not only one harpist but a whole group of them that play together and play pieces that usually are made for a symphony, but we play them on the harp. And I like how close we become through this group, and I think that we're just all one big family now.
We now have a program that is in partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. It started in 2004, and we serve over 800 students a year, providing tuition-free music instruction multiple days a week to students that have no access to formal music education. Many have joined the American Youth Harp Ensemble.
I'm pleased to say the Clara Jones International Harp School has recently collaborated very intensely with the American Youth Harp Ensemble.
Last year I went to Wales and got to collaborate with the British kids that are with Claire's Harp Ensemble, and now they're coming here and I'm so excited to tour with them again.
Claire started bringing me in to use my skills not only as a percussionist to help them with rhythm and some of the different world musics that I could bring to the harp, but also as well to start writing new music for the harp and arranging things for these ensembles.
And it's just such a great experience for British students and for the American students to mix together culturally, musically. Myself and Chris have a percussion and harp duet, and I'm going to give you a little preview of one of the pieces that will be done on the tour, and this will be Libertango by Piazzolla. Chris, my husband, is going to play a percussion instrument called the cajon, and I'm obviously going to play the harp, but it'll be something that's a little bit different that people might not expect to hear from the harp, in fact, particularly with all those strings to watch and to listen to.
We're really pleased that we are working with both Claire and Chris on a recording project, and that's with the American Youth Harp Ensemble and with them. And the last recording that we did was considered for a Grammy Award, so we're hoping this time we go all the way. But we also have invitations to return to the Kennedy Center and to Carnegie Hall, and we're currently planning this upcoming season as well as a European tour for the summer of 2019.
Just seeing them getting such a sense of achievement and ownership of that music. I created that. I moved that audience member to tears. I made that person dance. That's what music's about, and it's really nice that I can be part of that.
Cowboy, cha-cha, Cuban shuffle, hurricane, you know, they all sound like exotic cocktails or maybe even racehorses, but for those in the know, they're actually line dances. So we're with Rose Williams, who is the president of About That Dance. Thank you, Rose, for being here and showing us some of these moves.
Thank you for coming.
So how long has this organization been around, and how do these dances spread around the country?
Well, we just started in 2013, 2014. We got our organization together, and the dances are made. Some are locally, some are national, and you put them on the internet, and other people share them.
They go viral.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. How they come up with these dances. I really can't speak to that, but I love to teach them.
What are some of the basic steps that we would see in line dances?
The most basic step is cha-cha. Everybody cha-chas, everybody sailor steps. Some people call it different things, but everyone does those steps.
What about the grapevine?
Oh yeah, the grapevine, absolutely.
Not a favorite of the game.
Well, we do. Sometimes we speed it up a little bit though.
Okay, can anybody learn to line dance?
Everybody can learn to line dance. If you can count to 8, you can line dance.
You know, I did ask you if there's some dances that are unique to our area. What are some of the names of those dances?
Well, just now we did something called Ooh Baby. We have a choreographer here, Will Baker, he did that. ECC Connection, which is another local dance. But we have many. They have this event every year called the UC Star Wars, where people get awards for their dance. And this is a national thing. So a lot of our local choreographers have won that award.
Let's just talk about the wellness component.
Well, you know, it's good to keep moving. Regardless of what age, we have people of all ages. You know, they might be as young as 18. They start younger than 18. By the time they get to 18, they're really good. But then we go all the way up to 70, you know. So just thinking about the steps and moving keeps everyone fit and young.
Thank you so much, Rose. Okay, Rose, so tell me the dance that you guys just showed me, and where's it from?
The dance is called Zach to You, and it's by Lady D in Louisiana.
Okay, we're going to need to work on those turns some more. And while we do that, I want to show you this next story as Studio Theater turns 40. Ready?
Step on your right. Left.
And it continues to produce relevant and daring work on the 14th Street corridor. And though it's received 60 Helen Hayes Awards for theater excellence, The studio shows no sign of slowing down.
Studio is Washington's home for contemporary theater, so we try to find the best plays, generally that have been written in the last 2 or 3 years, and give them excellent productions right here in Washington, D.C. We're a 4-venue complex, so there's 4 theaters here, and each of them seat fewer than 200 people, so the intimacies of our theaters is sort of a hallmark of Studio. When we look across the entire season, we actually look to have a range of plays that are as varied as possible. We open up with a play called If I Forget, which is written by a Washington native, and it actually focuses on a real estate controversy that involves 14th Street in Washington. Then we do a play called Cry It Out, which is about parenthood. And then we do a play called Queen of Basil, which is an adaptation of Miss Julie. And then we do a play called Admissions, which is about affirmative action and race in America. So in addition to the main series, which are the 5 plays that compose the sort of core of Studio season, we do something called Studio X, which is plays that are particularly hip and rambunctious and experimental. It kicks off with something called The Fall, which is a company from South Africa. And then we're doing a play called PYG, which stands for Pretty Young Goons, and it's about cultural appropriation, particularly when it comes to kind of hip-hop style. And then we're doing a play called Kings, which is about lobbyists in Washington. At the end of the season, we're doing something called Showroom. This is an event called Taste of Studio that happened today. This is the 3rd year that we've done it. We never could have done it, 30 years ago or 40 years ago, because what it's meant to do is really showcase all of the amazing restaurants that do business in our neighborhood. So it's a chance to come and get a bite from places all over town, and while you're here to learn a little bit about studio theater and hopefully our upcoming season. Studio theater has existed in Washington for 40 years. That's just a little bit younger than I am, and it's a little bit hard to believe. And the neighborhood and the theater have changed really considerably over that period of time. But to be able to celebrate, the history of an institution and to do it through just continuing to do what you do every day, it's a real pleasure.
So being an artist can be especially challenging in the early stages of your career. Arts on the Block helps young people prepare and later join the creative workforce. They provide training for the real world inside a working mosaic studio and on regional public arts projects.
We work on an apprenticeship model. So creative teenagers compete to get a place on our studio crew. And then they come and work in the studio. They pick up technical skills, all the technical skills of building mosaics, but then also life and social skills and how to interact in business environments. Our full-time studio is in Kensington, Maryland, and then for 5 years we've been working out of this location, the Pepco Edison Place Gallery in Chinatown. The mission of the organization is to identify creative teenagers who might not know about all of their opportunities to work in the art and design industries, and to get them training, on-the-job training, and also help them with whatever their next step is on their path towards their career. It could be more school, more education, it could be their first job. Whatever it is that's the right next step for them, we're really committed to making sure they know what their opportunities are and getting them on the path. We have summer intensives in the summer. Those are 8 weeks long. And then we also have a crew that works in the Kensington studio all through the school year. We do a show every year in the Pepco Gallery. This year the theme is Pivot, which is about making a change in your life or a turning point, whether it's a personal change or career or the changes that are going on in our political climate.
I came from my country 5 years ago, and while I was in my country I never thought about being an artist, and even if I thought about it, I didn't have the opportunity to be an artist because I had to work full time. The pieces that I have in this show are about my experience when I came to the U.S. I was placed in a detention center, and as you can see in one of my pieces, and we couldn't sleep, and we spent around 3 days in that detention center. I mean, it was like a cell, but we didn't know what day it was, what time it was.
This year we're lucky to have Athena Corbin as the curator. She is an alumna of the Pour Your Art Out program. Pour Your Art Out is the flagship program. She actually was in our very first crew in 2006. And she selected a body of work from the alumni and staff of Arts on the Block, which is presented here in the Pepco Gallery.
The work I have is actually from 3 different series. The first piece is actually from a Digit series. We had to, through a course I was taking, digital imaging, we had to somehow digitally place a number in our image. The food series is from my comfort food illustration series. The last piece is from another study. I was interested in creating images that could look like a Bible cover for an artist's Bible.
What's great about the annual exhibit is that the apprentices in our program get an opportunity to see how a professional gallery exhibit is built, how it's curated and how it's hung, and then how we produce the event to celebrate the show. So they're involved in every step of the way of building the exhibit every year. The biggest impact that our program has had is really found in our alumni. After 15 years of running the studio crews, we have alumni who are architects and planners and business people and creative entrepreneurs all through the DMV area and beyond. So we're really excited to have a new crew come in every year and then learn about the people who've come before them who are working in creative jobs all over the region. To find out more about AOB, you just go to our website. It's www.artsontheblock.com, or you can give us a call or send us an email at the studio. We always welcome visitors in our studio, so if you'd like to come see what's going on, just contact us and we'll set up a date.
It's hard to believe, but the fall theater season is coming up, and here are a few plays to consider. If you like edgy contemporary theater, then you've probably seen more than one play at Studio Theater. The fall has been called funny, humane, and rooted in passion and bravery. Students grapple with the legacies of race, class, and gender 24 years after the end of apartheid. You can see it at Studio Theater October 14th through November 18th. Comedian Dick Gregory met bigotry head-on with biting humor. He was brilliant at turning activism into an art form. A new drama chronicles his life. Edwin Lee Gibson plays the lead in Dick Gregory Turn Me Loose.
I was working at a theater in Chicago and got a phone call about this piece, asking if I was interested. Well, yeah. Oh, sure, I'm interested. Then I got a call a few days later saying, okay, it's yours. I couldn't feel more honored because I was doing another show, and maybe Mr. Gregory chose me. Being here for the first time now, I've lived all over the world, but I've never been here. It's amazing, you know, the energy, the people, the chocolate. You know, I'm honored with the task of doing this, so don't take it lightly. Come out and enjoy this great opportunity to celebrate this man.
It starts September 6th at Arena Stage. There's still time if you haven't seen the Tony Award-winning sensation, Hamilton. It tells the story of America's first Treasury Secretary. The play features a fantastic diverse cast with equally diverse music. It runs now through September 16th at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. Taking a departure from theater, the annual Maryland Renaissance Festival gets underway August 25th through October 21st. This popular festival features artisans and performances. You can even dress in costume if you so wish. Go get your joust on. It's all going down on Crownsville Road in Annapolis. Heavy metal is not just a music style, it's also the name of a new exhibition. And it's at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. 20 contemporary female artists that work in metal are on display. The exhibit was created to counter the idea that metalworking is for men only. Check out Heavy Metal now through September 16th. Well, that's it for me. A special thanks to our line dancers. Take a class, I guarantee you'll have a blast. Well, you know what? I'm gonna dance my way on out of here. I'm Anquinette Crosby, and until next time, always remember to follow your art.
This program was produced by WHUT, Howard University Television, and made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.